We'll call the Parks and Recreation Commission meeting for Thursday, April 18th to order. Typically, this is not a responsibility for me as the staff person, but we always, with the first meeting of the new session, so to speak, for the commission with new members, I start the meeting and then we will go through election of officers. And once we elect a chair, then the chair will take it from there. So we do have two new commissioners tonight. So Jeff Isles, and I'll let Jeff kind of give a brief overview for himself, and also Janet Rathy, and I'll let Janet give an overview for her, and then we'll introduce everybody else. So how about welcome Jeff and Janet. Jeff, give a little overview.
Thanks, Keith. Great to be here. I'm looking forward to the next year on the board. I work in the Department of Horticulture at Iowa State. I'm professor and chair of that department. Came here as a grad student way back in 1987, so I feel very at home here in Ames and at Iowa State, and it's just great to be part of this organization. So thanks, Keith. Thanks for letting me join the party.
So what was maybe for the rest of the commissioners and then for people at home, what really prompted you to want to be a part of this commission?
Well, I'm a big fan of the parks in town. I can't believe how many there are. You reminded us the other day how many parks we have in Ames. I was associated with the Miracle Field Park that was established over at Honest Grove, so I got another taste of the park system there. And I'm a big tree fan, so I enjoy watching trees being planted, whether that be along city streets or in parks. And so I felt that maybe I might have something to offer on this group. So anyway, it's good to be here.
Yeah, very good. Welcome. Janet?
Janet Rathy, and I I'm a native of Ames, grew up here, and so grew up going to all these parks and living in Ames and love it. Raised my family of 4 kids here, and so we really love Ames, and I just thought there's a lot of great things happening, and I want to be a part of it. Lots of fun stuff coming up. I'm a private tutor, tutor kids with dyslexia, so that's what I do. I'm a teacher by trade, and looking forward to 3 years working with everybody. So thank you.
All right. Welcome. Yeah. So Janet's filling a 3-year term. Jeff is filling a 1-year term. And then I think somebody else was reappointed. Jeff was reappointed to a 3-year term because he was filling out a different term. So, all right. Well, welcome everybody. And how about Dwayne? You want to start off and just give a brief overview of who you are?
Dwayne Reeves. I work at Iowa State University and been involved in many different things here in Ames. Wonderful park system. The activities for kids is kind of what brought us in with kitty kickers and a few other things with our kids. And it's been a pleasure to serve on this commission. It's been very rewarding.
Thank you. Rachel?
So I'm Rachel Kramer, and I first moved to Ames as an undergraduate student at Iowa State. Left for career opportunities, came back 10 years later and wanted to be really involved. The parks here in this community and all of the activities that happen in this community were part of that draw for choosing Ames. So it's been great to learn a little bit more about all the work that goes into making Ames a great place to live.
Thank you.
Sarah? I'm Sarah Katie. I am in my final year of a partial term and then a full term, and now a second full term. So, I also work at Iowa State. I also came to Iowa State as a graduate student, and this will be 20 years in Ames for me this summer. And yeah, just an avid parks user for many years, using many of the facilities, and like others, I was looking for ways to get involved, ways to have public input. And I had been on the other side of the dais for many years as a citizen, giving feedback on a variety of bicycle pedestrian projects, campus town projects, and things like that, and just wanted to get more involved in the boards and commissions. So it's been a great opportunity. And it's been pretty amazing to see what we've accomplished in my time on the commission.
Thanks, Sarah. Nathan?
Hey, Nathan Shimonik. I'm very pleased to serve my second term up here, which is awesome. It started in COVID. We did a year Zoom and not in person. And it was really awkward. So it's great to be here. And I came to Ames in '98 and never left. I love the parks. I use the parks every single day. And just like Dwayne, my kids started in kiddie kickers and went through programs all the way through. So I'm very passionate about not only our facilities but our programs. So I'm pleased to be that citizen liaison between the city and our citizens in town. So I'm happy to be here.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. All right. The next item on the agenda is election of officers. So we do have a chairperson and a vice chairperson. So I would open the floor for nominations. If anybody wants to make a motion to nominate somebody for chair, we can do that.
I move to nominate Sarah.
Definitely second. She's done a great job leading our commission. So
All right. So with that, are there any other nominations for chair? Okay. Seeing none, we'll close nominations. We have a motion and a second for Sarah. Any discussion?
I just want to say I agree. You've done a wonderful job. Thank you for doing that all these years. And since Jeremy's not here to nominate you, I thought I would.
All right. So with that, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, with that, Sarah gets nominated for yet another term as chair. I will pass this over to her, and she can do nominations for vice chair.
Well, thank you all for your support and faith in my ability to continue to give decent and not horribly rambly speeches at ribbon cutting. So thank you. Looking forward to groundbreaking for the Aquatic Center on the 24th. So I don't know if Keith told you about that, but that would be kind of our first kind of big public facing event here in a few weeks. So anyway, all right. So I would take, am I already rambling? Or
No.
are you ready? Oh, it's there. I see. Okay. Keith is calling me out again. All right. So I would take a nomination for the position of vice chair of the Parks and Recreation Commission.
I move to nominate Nathan as our vice chair.
Oh. I was also going to nominate Dwayne because he's always here and serves very faithfully.
Is there a second? Or, well, there's two nominations.
I nominated first.
Okay. Well, that's okay. Is there a second for Nathan's nomination? Okay. Are there any other nominations?
Oh, I'll nominate Dwayne if he wants it.
No.
Is there a second for Dwayne's nomination? No seconds. Okay. So the only nomination on the floor is for Nathan for the vice chairperson. Is there any discussion? All right. All in favor of Nathan for the position of vice chair, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Seeing none, the motion carries. All right. Well, congrats to Nathan.
Thanks.
I think you will give
Appreciate it.
excellent speeches at ribbon cuttings when I can't be there.
Pickleball.
You'll
You
have to let
did.
me
You
know.
already did the one. Okay. Yeah, I was at the Ada Hayden or something, the fishing one or something. Anyway. Okay. All right. So starting a new term. First item on the agenda, now that we've done that, is approval of the minutes from the March 21st, 2024 meeting. Would anyone care to make a motion?
I move to approve the minutes.
Second.
All right, motion is on the table to approve the minutes. Is there any discussion? All in favor of approval of the minutes from March 21st, 2024, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Seeing none, the motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the public forum. This is for items that are not on the agenda. Would any members of the audience care to speak in the public forum? All right, seeing none, we'll go ahead and close public forum. Next item on the agenda is a motion approving the request from the Ames Foundation to host its annual fundraising event at Innis Grove Park on Sunday, September 29th, 2024.
So the Parks and Recreation, the city of Ames has a long relationship with the Ames Foundation, and some of those projects that Parks and Recreation Department has benefited from were listed in the commission action form. One, band shell renovation, tree planting through the Emerald Ash Borer Response Plan. And then Jeff mentioned it earlier, but really the crown jewel of what they have done for the city, the foundation, was the Miracle Park. With that, raising over $2 million and managing the construction and getting that done, and then turning it over to the city. So thank you to the Ames Foundation for that. So they every year do an annual fundraising event, and up till now they have been held indoors. Different businesses, different locations. I think last year they did it out at the airport. So they what they do is they try to bring in potential donors and raise funds for projects and activities that they want to do throughout the year. Because of what they have done with the Miracle Park, they have requested to do their annual fundraising event in Innis Grove Park. One, to showcase that project to potential donors, and also start transitioning some of what they want to do. What they have typically done lately is with the Emerald Ash Borer tree planting, is they really want to focus on the parks, and three projects that were listed in the commission action form that they want the proceeds would go to is one we've talked about, the scholarship endowment fund. Trying to get that up to, we have about 280,000 in there right now. Like to get that up to $1 million. They also want to raise funds for the animal control shelter, and then the last one is just park activities. And we have had conversation with Chris, who's the current president, about potentially raising funds in the future for another inclusive playground in the Ontario Park type of thing. So there are a lot of different things happening. So with this, they want to go to Innis Grove Park. This type of event in the park system is atypical. We don't usually have people that want to come in, and we do have shelter rentals, but to do a band, have a caterer to do the food, and then also to have alcohol served is kind of atypical. I should mention, too, is that all of these things are allowed, in the park system. So it's not necessarily, a lot of times when things come before the commission, they're brought to you asking for waiver of fees or a recommendation to city council, all those types of things. So there really isn't, any of that. The group will need to go to city council, whoever their provider is for the alcohol. They will need to get a liquor license, but they'll just do that directly through the clerk's office and then get that approved through city council. So I'm not going to go through all of it. They do want to do this on Sunday, September 29th, roughly 4 to 9 o'clock. We've already talked about the tent, the band. We'll show you where we'll put it up on the screen, just kind of where they're looking at doing this. So, with it, so this, right here is Duff Avenue. 24th Street would be down here. And then this is the Walnut Shelter. And then the parking up here. And what we're looking at, they want to do a 60 by 80 foot tent. And this is a flat space. It's close to the parking. It would still allow people to use the walkway to get to the Miracle Park. We'd look at having the band maybe in this end of the tent. So the music would go directly or to the northeast away from the homes. Also, may have some sidewalls on at least a portion of the tent to kind of keep the music contained. So They would have food and beverage, which I mentioned, and so on. But the remainder of the park will remain open, for park users, during this time. There are requirements with this in regards to the police. And not going to go through those with the liquor license. They would have to have a liquor license, have dram shop insurance. They'd have to submit a plan when they go for their liquor license, which kind of lays out, hey, here's where we have fencing. Here's where the area that the alcohol is going to be served. That's all part of the process to get that liquor license. So make sure that, anyone 20 or under 21 is not in the area where the alcohol is being served, and so on. So those are requirements from the police. They also have fire has some requirements, just in regards to safety, how many exits if there's tent walls, the clearance between the tent walls and any equipment, tables, so on. Fire extinguisher on site, signage and so on. All that stuff is listed, in there. So they're requesting that they be allowed to do this event. So we did bring it before council because, again, it's not that typical thing that we have in the park system. There are neighbors along, 24th Street. And we did also ask the foundation. We said, if you're going to do this, we do want you to go and visit with the neighbors. So in front of you, there is a thing that they used when they went out. And Chris, who's here, he can give a little bit more information when the time comes. But he did go house to house along Duff Avenue and 24th Street. Did talk with some people. Had to leave the flyer. Did receive some emails. Generally positive. Thanks for sharing. And so on. So we did ask for that. We do ask that they get a noise permit, again, just so police is aware, of the band portion of it, and that's something that they'll do. So throughout this whole process, we have met with, or the foundation has met with police and myself. Met with additional times just with me going through all these items. So they are very, they understand, if they're going to do this in the park system, that they need to be good neighbors. We want to be good neighbors as a city. There are requirements. They have not balked at anything that has been asked of them. They said, yes, we can do these items. We'll gladly do it. And again, this is a type of event, and talking with the police chief, he's not really worried about this event because you're bringing, people in that are business people. They want to make donations. They want to see Ames a better place. It's not, college kids coming and wanting to put on an event. So, and we have that same feeling or same sentiment from staff. With it, I have gone to some of the indoor events that the foundation has done. They're done very well. The caterers, everything is top notch. I've never seen any issue that would say, ooh, would not want this to be done. So with all of that said, staff's recommendation is for the commission to approve the Ames Foundation hosting the event at Innis Grove Park on September 29th, as long as they do meet all of those requirements that are listed in the commission action form. So are there any questions of me?
Okay. Are there some members of the Ames Foundation that would like to speak on this? Just state your name and address for the minutes.
Sure. My name is Chris Anderson. I am the chair of the Ames Foundation Board. I was starting in the chair position this year. We have 1-year terms for our chair position. So it'll be this year and then I'll be done. But I've been on the board since 2020, I believe. We have 3-year terms. as you guys also have on your board. This is my second third-year term. And I don't really have a lot to say about it because I think Renee Klaus wrote a really nice letter that conveys our excitement, that it conveys our history of engagement, that it conveys what we hope comes out of this big event. I only have really a couple things I want to add. First, if you really want to talk to us some more about this, then I invite you to come to our open house. That's on Arbor Day. It's co-hosted with the City of Ames. It's intentionally on Arbor Day so that we can celebrate our park system and the recent accomplishments that have occurred in our park system. That'll be held at the clubhouse at Homewood Golf Course from 4 to 7 p.m. One of the things that's going to be very exciting to us about this event is we're unveiling a wood carving, and it will go into one of our parks as well. This is partly in honor of one of our initial members. The board was founded in 1976. That came out of the Bicentennial Commission that was established in 1975. And so one of our initial board members has recently passed away, provided a gift, and this wood carving is in honor of that gift and in honor of our park system and all the effort that people have put into our park system over the years. So that open house is a great time to talk to us, to learn more about what we hope happens from this big event in the fall. The second thing is we have even more going on at the Miracle League Park area than was described earlier. Was Sheila Lunt, who oversaw so much of the construction management, which was a great project for the city and a great deal of effort that she put into it. And I'm grateful for all of that. We have done a few more things since then. One of them is working with Renewable Energy Group. I'm looking up at the picture to see if I can see, but they provided donations to the Ames Foundation for tree planting. And Innis Grove Park and around specifically the Miracle League Park is where for 2 years we did some tree planting. So I believe there are 34 trees planted around the Miracle League Park and kind of where the parking lot is up there on the northern end of that picture and north of that. So we have a lot of interest in this area. Besides the Miracle Park itself, we've continued to support it and enjoy it. So that's all I want to say about our interest in the Miracle Park as a site and how you can learn more from us individually with more conversation. And really, I'm here to answer any questions that you might have.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing the plans with us and the other projects you've been working on in the park. Are there any questions for Chris?
Chris, thanks for coming out today. We really appreciate everything that Ames Foundation's done for our Parks and Rec system. And I think this is really exciting that you decided to do your fundraising event in the park where you've done so much impact. You yourself walked around the neighborhood?
Yeah.
Were people excited about this or
I would say about
interested?
35% of the people were home, and none of them were opposed to it, that's for sure. And 3 or 4, so give it 10% that I talked to in depth, they were really excited about it. And anyone that maybe had in the past that had some reticence about the park really did not convey that at all when I met with them. I received 2 emails from people. One was just wanting to have more information. So I passed along pretty much a similar version of the letter that you received to them so they could see what our intent was with the party, the scale of it, the outcome from it. And the other one was also much less inquisitive about what we were going to do, but just wanted to let us know that seemed like a really good idea.
Great. Thanks for doing that.
Yep.
Chris, have you thought about parking? Is there enough parking there for everyone?
We believe there is. It's about 150 to 200 people that we attend our events every year.
Yep.
Of course, we hope it's more this year.
Sure.
It's a nice, large area. There are the 2 parking lots you see in the picture, the one that's directly north of the facility, but also east of the facility by the tennis courts. One of the nice things about if folks park near the tennis courts, then they can actually walk through the Miracle League field and park area, and we can put up signs as part of the event to keep them aware of just how this all came together. So I think those 2 areas from the feedback that we've received from the police should be sufficient for an event of this size.
Right. And you've counted on good weather that day.
We're already planning on it. That's right. There's no backup.
Any other questions for Chris? Well, thank you for speaking on this. And yeah, thanks for coming today. Are there any other audience members that care to speak on this? Okay. Are there any other questions or discussion? Would someone care to make a motion regarding the Ames Foundation event?
I move to approve the motion to, I move to approve their request to use that space.
Approve alternative one.
Second.
Okay, motion on the table is to approve alternative one, which is the Ames Foundation request to host its annual fundraising event in Ines Grove on September 29th. Is there any additional discussion? All in favor of moving alternative one, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Seeing none, the motion carries.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is an update on the Parks and Recreation project plan from the March 26th City Council meeting.
Yeah, what we wanted to do here is just kind of bring this to your attention, because we talk about different projects in the monthly report. We give different projects. So one of the things that City Council, a goal, not necessarily a published goal, but something that they really want to do is they want to get projects completed. So one of the things that we did is we just gave them an update to say, hey, here are the projects that we have going on and when we're planning on getting them accomplished. So we started with February of 24 and moved through June 30th of 2025 is what we showed, there. So roughly about 18 months, maybe a little bit shy of that. So one of the things is, we could have, anywhere from 20 to 30 to 40 projects going on at a time, depending on the time of the year and in different phases. Some we might be have putting out a request for proposal for somebody to help us design something. We might be in design in other projects. We might be in construction on other projects. And these projects go anywhere from, $10, $15, $20,000, obviously all the way up to a $30 million project with the Fitch Family Indoor Aquatic Center. So when we look at the total, we have about a $7 million budget for Parks and Recreation. About 5.8 of that is recreation. The rest of it is the right-of-way and cemeteries, which aren't part of the Parks and Recreation Commission. We also have for 24-25 or 23-24, 24-25, about $22 million in CIP projects, that we're doing. So on the project, and this is not, it doesn't entail what you saw on that spreadsheet. It doesn't entail any of our day-to-day activities, doing the sanitation rounds, planning for programs, doing any other things, fixing shelters, mowing the grass. All those other things are still things that we need to be doing. So really was just trying to give you or give council, and we wanted to share with you, is just to give you an understanding of the projects. Now, we do have a variety of projects that are going on, and you can see on there, we're trying to adhere to this as much as possible, but there are some things that we may have to delay. We may have to push back. Some things we might be able to do a little bit sooner, and so on. But there are probably 4 projects that I just want to point out. So project number 8, which is a car park, shelter, and restroom. Project 19, which is a park maintenance facility. Project 22, which is a daily park splash pad, and Project 34, which is the Ada Hayden path replacement. With those 4 projects, we're going to be working on design, and with those 4, because they are bigger projects, a little bit more involved, what we're going to be doing is we're hoping to bid those out in October or November, because if we tried to bid those right now, one, we don't have all the information that we need to bid them right now. Even if we did have all the information to bid them right now, when the contractors have a lot of projects on their schedules, the price goes way up. We saw it with the Fitch Family Indoor Aquatic Center. We bid in November. Bids came in over those 14 packages, $3 million less than what the cost opinion was. So there was really some effort done with our construction manager, the timing of the bid, and then also they did a lot of solicitation, and that's a good thing. So we're hoping that we can do that same thing with these 4 projects, because most of them are, besides the car park restroom, the other ones are $500,000 or more, and 2 of them are over $1 million. So I just wanted to highlight those 4 projects, and then also the other ones, I would just entertain any questions, but it's really more of an awareness, because sometimes we talk about projects, but not really sure that you understand all of the projects that we have going on. So any questions?
I don't see Iowa Creek restoration on here. Is that not under you guys officially? I know it's kind of
Actually-
on.
Actually, it is. It's number 16. Project number 16. So
Oh, sorry, I missed it completely.
yeah, and so with that, we put that on there, and that's a project that is being done by Public Works, and Public Works, there was one property owner that was not really was kind of holding off on giving the city an easement to do this project. So Public Works has been working with them. They think they have found a solution. So with that, we're hoping that things get bid out, and maybe some things start happening in the fall. I did mention to Jeff and to Janet when I met with them on Monday that once that is closer to, hey, we're going to be putting this out, we can have Public Works come and Josh was more involved with that project, can give an update on what's going to be happening once we have the final, because we talked about moving, the stream, the flow and everything, creating an oxbow. So some of that stuff might change a little bit from the last time you saw it, but that's what that project is. And the reason we put it on our list is because it's in the park, and undoubtedly when it's in the park, when people start seeing trees being cut down or seeing activity, they generally call us. And that's why Joshua's been involved. So he has a good understanding of it. So when people do call us, Josh will be able to give them, kind of an update. But this is one of those projects that, we really look at it as a partnership. It's in the park system. We've been involved. Dwayne, you came to some of those meetings, and we had staff from our department talking about different things, answering questions, and so on. So again, it's really a cooperative effort. Even though they're providing the funding and they're leading the project, it's a cooperative effort between the departments. And anything to add to that, Joshua? Any other comments?
I mean, I know we all know you have a lot on your plate, but seeing it all laid out like this, it really makes it, clear. So, this is really a great way to display it.
Yeah. And it's something, if you'd like, as we go through, maybe 6 months from now, if you want, hey, we could come back and say, done. So that's what we like to be able to do, and keep lowering, those number of projects. So if you'd like us to do that, we can most definitely, do that, give you every 6 months, give you an update if that's something that you'd like.
Yeah.
How are we doing on the car park agility course?
So the equipment is out for RFP right now. That's expected to be back first part of May. Working with the engineer to complete the specs for the grading and the concrete and the surfacing. We'll send that out as well, and the goal is to get that done yet this fall.
Oh, good.
So
And one thing too is once we have, so the request for proposal that goes out or is out there right now, what we're asking for them to do is give us proposals of what equipment they would suggest, how that would be laid out. Once we get those, then we'll be having a meeting with the neighbors. We told the neighbors that we would come back, meet with them again and show and get some feedback. So that's something that we'll be doing as well.
One thing I'd like to highlight is you look at this list and we know like how much you have going on. But one thing I think you and your staff do really, really well is you don't get caught up in the prolific projects because the little stuff still gets caught. You talk about the maintenance and, you know, the steps at Ines Grove going down the river were fixed. And that's one of those things that's like, it's a nice maintenance item that you could have easily just pushed off because you're too busy, but it's done. It's really, really nice. And it's those little tiny things that make our Parks and Rec system really, really good because that's not lost. So I really give you props. So appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. And we have to give kudos to all of our park staff in those situations because, sometimes, we do ask our staff in-house to do some of those projects and to get those accomplished and so on, just even like with the playgrounds that we're working on right now. So they do a great job. And I don't even know that have mentioned this. I think I mentioned it to Janet and to Jeff, but right now we have 8 vacancies in our full-time staff out of 29. So with those kinds of comments, we do thank you for them, and we do pass them on because everybody is really working hard to get things accomplished. So, but with that, say we are going to be doing interviews for one of those positions. We've got 2 other positions that are posted, and after those applications are received at the end of the month, the first part of January or first part of May, then what we will also be doing is then we have 2 coordinator positions that are going to be posted and several park maintenance worker positions that would be posted as well. So we're continuing to work through, those in kind of a systematic way to get those individuals on and get them started. And we're really excited for that. So, but, Joshua, Courtney, all doing a lot of, filling in, trying to keep, things moving and they're doing an awesome job. So thank you for that.
Any other questions or feedback on this project plan? Okay, next item on the agenda is a motion to approve the Parks and Rec Commission meeting dates. I believe this should be April 2024 through March 2025. Minor update to the agenda.
I'm not following where you're at, but
Oh, it says 2023 to 2024 on my agenda, but it should be approve the dates
Yeah, that's
2024 through 2025.
yes, yeah, you're right. 24 to 25.
think.
Gotcha. It's right on the commission action form. So.
Gotcha. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, with that, again, this is the first meeting. So if you look at attachment A, all the meeting dates are listed there. Generally, it is the third Thursday. There are 2 exceptions to this. One is December 5th. That's a special meeting that we have with the city manager, CIP discussion, capital improvement plan. And then also next year, the third Thursday does fall during spring break, for schools. And generally in the past, commissions has said, let's not meet that week. Let's meet the 4th Thursday. So those 2 changes are incorporated into this. And unless there's any questions, we suggest approving alternative number 1.
Okay. Would anyone care to make a motion?
Move to approve the schedule.
I can second that.
All right. Motion is on the table to approve the meeting dates for April 2024 through March 2025. Is there any discussion? All right, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Seeing none, the motion carries. Next item on the agenda are project updates on the Fitch Family Aquatic Center and the Shanker Plaza.
Yeah, and these are standing items, that we've had, because they're big projects. The one $30 million project, the other one $5.5 million project. So with the Fitch Family Indoor Aquatic Center, Sarah had already mentioned earlier, but exciting groundbreaking is going to be happening. That's next week, Wednesday, April 24th at 11 a.m. I know a couple of you have already said that you can make it. Some of you can't make it for various reasons, which is okay. But if you can be there, we're looking for a good turnout. We will with the groundbreaking. We have several speakers. We have the mayor who can welcome everybody, say a few words. We'll have the Fitches will be there to say some words. Brian Dieter from Mary Greeley. Reynolds Kramer from Fairway. We'll have Lisa Heddens, who's the chair of Story County Board of Supervisors. And then with that, not sure, I'll probably say a few things, thank all the other donors, but we have heard from a number of donors that are going to be there. So again, it'd be a good opportunity if you can be there, be able to thank them personally for their donations, their generosity to improve, the quality of life in Ames with this amenity. And just for those at home, it's about $11 million, over $11 million, either in donations or grants that we have out of this, $30 million project. So more than a third of it is funded that way. So if you can be there, that's 115 North Elm. Across from the DOT, the state headquarters there. Other than that, demolition has been moving along since the last meeting. Buildings are down. Most of the debris has been, removed. There still is, some that needs to be done. Job trailer has been put on site now. We have signage up on the fence along Lincoln Way if you've been by there and see, so people can see what's happening. And either later this week or hopefully next week, then utilities will start being put in. Finally, I think we did get all the communication companies. I think that's supposed to be done this week. So we won't have any more lines running through the middle of the site, and cranes and other big equipment don't have to worry about that. So it's really exciting. It's moving along. Just about almost anywhere that I go, somebody is asking me about, the progress or hey, I've been by it. So, and I know some of you have already mentioned too, exciting project. It's moving forward. It's happening, and we can't wait until fall of 25 when we can all be taking a plunge and doing some swimming in the aquatic center. So, any questions on that?
Keith, you might have said this, but is the project fully funded?
It is. It is. So with it, we will be. We started off initially. The city council had authorized to issue up to $21.2 million in general obligation bonds, and with the $3 million that that bids came in lower, we have healthy contingencies built in. We have $1 million for mitigation if we do run into any contamination. Thus far, when we've been doing our testing of the soil, can't be any more than 10 parts per million. The highest sample that we have at this point is 0.4 parts per million. So things are going well. So right now, it looks like with all of this, we'll issue a good portion of bonds in September. And then we'll do a final in September of 25, and we'll have a better feel for that. But instead of that 21.2, it may be closer to maybe around 18 So between the donations and the grants and there's some ARPA funding, included in there, we're able to lower how much of those general obligation bonds are issued. So, yeah, so it's looking good. Yeah. Any other questions on that one? If not, we'll go to the Schenker Plaza. And that continues to move forward. A couple things that have happened. Recently this week they did install the condenser, which was the last piece. It's to the east side of the restroom building, and that's part of the ice making system. So that's in. So they're making all the connections and everything. They're doing painting, in the building. It's been so windy, they really haven't been able to do much outside yet. But then the last thing, hopefully we'll start seeing is doing the prep work, and then concrete will start being poured around the spray pad area and maybe even some of the other walkways. And then maybe by the time we meet next time, maybe we'll even see, some landscaping, start happening and so on. So that's moving along as well. Anything that I missed there, Joshua? Nope. Okay.
All right. Next item on the agenda is the monthly report.
Just highlight a couple things. Staff has turned on water to all the restroom facilities within our park system, which is exciting as the season has started. Sanitation rounds take place every single day in our park system now to ensure that those restrooms are clean. So just want the users to know that. A new thing that we've added actually this year is we actually have added hand soap dispensers, something that we've never had in our restrooms. We've received some comments over the years, or a few comments, and it just came to the point where we budgeted money to do that. It sounds a little archaic that we actually finally did it, but it makes sense now. Another thing in regards to going on the projects is that we've in the process of installing 3 new playgrounds throughout the park system. One's in Lloyd Kurtz Park, which is on the north side of Ames. Country Gables Park is in Southdale, and then Christopher Gartner Park, which is over behind the Israel Hospice House. So those playgrounds will be the structures are almost done, or if not already completed. Just finished that up either yesterday or today. Then our staff will go in there, put engineered wood fibers in, and then a concrete border around each one of those to make them accessible. And then lastly, we got a contractor that's at the aquatic center that's repainting all the basins. We typically do that every 5 to 7 years. So that'll be nice to have those, and those will really pop once we get the water in it. So those are and the painting really helps protect the infrastructure, the concrete of those basins, so they don't, so they can last a long time. So.
Joshua, you maybe just give a quick update on the compressors and the controllers at the ice arena.
Yeah. So this last 6 to 8 months, we've had some pretty major things pop up at the ice arena. Some of you remember that we did our sand releveling project, and we had some issues restarting the compressors. First, we thought it was a Freon issue, which that aided to it, but also the compressors were installed in 2001 that make the ice. There's 2 compressors. The reason why there's 2 compressors, it provides a little redundancy, and then also obviously extra capacity for freezing ice. There were some issues that came about in late October, early November. The controllers are 20 years old. I guess the timeline for those to be done is 20 years. Unbeknownst to Keith and I, 20 years is kind of a new number, so we remember that now. So we ordered new compressors, and then also ordered new controllers, and then the compressor, one of our compressors needs a total overhaul. So it's basically they take out all the pistons and they replace all the bearings, replace all the seals, replace all the rings in that compressor. Well, the timeline was supposed to be early December, and all this was completed. Actually, they started the work this week. There was a delay in getting the parts here and getting the controllers here. So thankful that is getting done, and hopeful that this compressor will last another 20 years. We have budgeted funds in in the future CIP to actually do a complete overhaul of the other compressor. And so that'll be done in a couple years. So we'll have a pretty much brand new or refurbished ice making system at the ice arena, which is that's a big deal considering how old our system is. But our staff and our contractors have done an excellent job of keeping that maintained, that we can have a nice, efficient system over there. So.
And Courtney is unable to make it. She's at a training today. So a couple of things. And she may have mentioned this at the last meeting, but we did receive the Ice Arena did receive a $1,500 grant from Kiwanis Club. And what that did is that helped us purchase, skate helpers, 8 of them. And really what they are is they almost look like a walker in a way, and for new skaters and so on. So thank you to the Kiwanis Club. A number of programs that have been hosted. I think one thing that I highlight is Craig Kaufman did initiate a tribute band series at the auditorium. Did hold 2 tribute bands. One was I think called Southbound, I think was the name of them, an Allman Brothers tribute band, which was received really well. And then the other one was Jet Threat tribute band, and that was Joan Jett and the Black Arts. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. And so that went really well, and that's something that we'll probably continue. Also, our aquatics manager Leanne would point a couple things out. Did do a partnership with ISU Rec Services to do a lifeguard training, and where kind of with a Rec Services employee and Leanne, they kind of tag teamed the teaching of it, and were able to train some of ISU's staff, and then also some staff that's going to be working at Furman Aquatic Center. And then the other item, Leanne has created a relationship with individual at the high school, Ames High School, in the pool, and was able to go in at one of their classes and talk about the lifeguarding opportunities, because the teacher is teaching lifeguarding class to the students, was able to go in and even not only tell about the opportunities, was actually even able to conduct a couple of interviews during class, and some of those individuals are going to work for us as well. So we'll continue to try to build those relationships, continue those relationships, and try to support each other in what we're doing for aquatics and other things throughout the community. Any questions about any of the thing, monthly report?
Keith, what do we pay our lifeguards? What's the hourly rate?
So I would say right now, lifeguards are right around $14 an hour, give or take a little bit. We have a 3-step range that we have. So if you start out here, you go to that middle, and then you go to the top end. So I think it's just under 14 when you start, and it's maybe about 1470, something like that, in your 3rd year. And with all of our wages, we have been, several years ago, we did, up those by $2 or so an hour. And our ranges for all of our positions go up 3 to 5%, every year, generally 3%. If we are struggling with some positions, we may take them up higher or quicker if we need to. So that's about what they get.
Great. Any other questions for Keith or Joshua? Okay, our next item on the agenda is commission member comments. For our new commission members, this is just a time for you to mention any upcoming events in the park system that you would like to kind of promote or make note of, or any concerns that you have noticed as a park user. Also, like I just have Keith on speed dial now. So, but Keith is always very responsive if you notice like a down tree or the stairs at Ines Grove or, any concerning park maintenance issues. It never hurts to send an email to Keith. So, I do have one comment. I had some feedback from a community member. He was just concerned about the number of down trees in Brookside and just sort of the general maintenance of the wooded areas. I have his email here if you want to reach out to him or have Gabby reach out to him. So.
Yeah, and that is something actually Joshua, Gabby, and I had a conversation on Monday, was it? And that was one of the things that came up.
Okay.
And actually, in all of our wooded areas, so at Brookside, East River Valley, Gateway, McCarthy Lee, Munn Woods, we're looking to work with our regional forester from the DNR to come in and actually develop a management plan for all of those areas. So that's something that you'll see. It's not going to happen right away, but it is something that we'll be working on in the next couple of years.
While we're on the topic of that, I know we have this funding for general maintenance and improvement of the urban woodlands. Could we have Gabby lead part of our tour in June and talk about some of that, or is it too soon?
Yeah, probably with the tour. I don't know if we'll do that at that point, because right now we've been told we have this bunch of money. We still do not have an agreement.
Okay.
With it. So I think Joshua may have mentioned this before that once we started getting into this, here's what we thought, and then they kind of moved the goalposts on us a little bit. So we're continuing. There's a lot of back and forth, and so we have not even taken an agreement to City Council for approval yet. So once we get to that point, we're still working out all those details. Joshua and Gabby are spending a lot of time on that, but so we'd like to make sure that we get that approved by council before we start going around to other things. One thing that we will do, you mentioned the tour, and that's what we do in June at our meeting. So I have talked with Nancy Carroll, Executive Director for Heartland of Story County, and thought that going through the 60 Forward Center would be a good thing. So I know we've talked about it a number of times. So that's probably the first thing on our tour. It will be going there, and you'll be able to see the 60 Forward Center and what is entailed and where we'll do some of the programming in that facility.
Is
That's
the
very
duck
exciting.
pin bowl in Reddick?
Oh. And we talked about a great extent.
We'll find out.
All right. That's what I like to hear.
Maybe we can build a few lines, right?
That's very exciting too. So that
Going back to the part about like a tree down or something, isn't there a website or a email that you can go to and take pictures of things that are going on in the parks and send them to the city?
Yes. Josh, we want to.
Yeah, so there's an app.
Yeah,
There's an app called Ames on the Go.
that's right.
See, click, fix is kind of the slang
Yeah.
for it. You can you can download the app. You can also see it on our City of Ames website to report any issues and take pictures of it. And
Yeah.
it gets.
So do
get a
you
lot of them.
do you man that? Or yeah. So and do you have
Well,
quite
we
a-
have multiple staff within our, but a lot of them come to me.
do you have quite a few people send you in things? Probably regulars.
I wouldn't say we necessarily have regulars. I mean, we appreciate people that
Yeah.
are looking at
Right.
what's going on, and and as Keith and I in our department, we're if something's broken, we want to get it fixed right away. Some of these things may not be able to fix right away. Like if we have a large, a certain area of a path system that may not be perfect, but it's it's still usable. We still have sometimes we have to plan for it, we have to budget for it, those types of things. But obviously, safety issues like a playground, hazardous trees that they see laying over a path or a parking lot, or those types of things, garbage, graffiti, yes, we want to know right away, because it's a big help to us. So
Okay.
Yeah, because we're in the parks a lot, but we can't be in
Mhm.
all the parks
Mhm.
all the time, and we really appreciate people getting out there, being extra eyes for us, and if they see something, yeah, let us know.
Yeah, and I guess also if you ever get a community member emailing you with a question, I usually forward it to Keith
Mhm.
to make sure that they have the official response regarding the whatever their question is regarding. So
Well, if there are no other comments, there is one thing I forgot to mention. So we have the groundbreaking on Wednesday, April 24th, Saturday, April 27th. We have ribbon cutting for the new pickleball courts. That's at 11 a.m. And with that one, the Ames Pickleball Club, they will be starting, I think, at 9:30. So prior to the ribbon cutting, they will be doing lessons, demonstrations. They'll have equipment there if anybody hasn't played before. After the ribbon cutting, they will have hot dog, chips, and maybe something else that they'll give to. I think they have enough for 100 people. So if we have 100 people there, this will be really good. I don't know that we generally have more than 15 to 20 or 25, depending on the project. And then what they are doing too is they have some prizes that have been donated from businesses throughout the community. So they will be doing a drawing, for those prizes. And then they're going to do kind of a ceremonial game with some of the first people that started playing pickleball in Ames. So it should be a fun thing. It's ribbon cutting, kind of sandwiched. Think of that as the cream of the Oreo is the ribbon cutting, and then the Ames Pickleball Club is doing the sides before and afterwards.
So we have the groundbreaking on Wednesday, Arbor Day on Friday at Homewood in the afternoon, late afternoon, and the ribbon cutting on Saturday at the pickleball at
Jam-packed week.
it is exciting.
Clear your calendars, everybody. We'd love to see you at any and all of those events.
Okay. Are there any other comments? Our next meeting is May 16th at 4 p.m. in Chambers. So I would take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Meeting is adjourned.
Awesome.